everybody. Time now to talk more about the high school football playoffs. A great time of year. We're actually filming this on a wet and rainy Wednesday, but we understand.
Thank goodness not a wet and rainy Friday.
Exactly. So it should be good.
Those.
We're excited about.
We had that last year. Remember that last year?
I know.
Oh my gosh, the first round. I was at Fortson. Oh gosh, rain, sleet, then snow, and the winds going like this.
Yeah, we could thank El Nino this year, I think, for giving us a little bit more moderate temperature. It's going to get into the 70s next year.
I saw that. I looked ahead.
Awesome. All right, we're talking about Division II, we're talking about Division IV, and we don't really normally do this kind of predict every single game, but we're doing that, and we'll talk about a few of them individually. But right off the bat,
this is fun. We haven't done it before.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, you got all these teams that earn their way in.
Yeah.
We should talk about them.
Absolutely. Grand Rapids, Forest Hills Northern, 7-2 at Muskegon Mona Shores, 9-0. I definitely am hot on Mona Shores and the way they play this year.
I don't want to belabor the point, but I love Mona Shores, and I think they'll get back to Fort Field.
So
but Grand Rapids, Forest Hills Northern won a big game at the end of the season. They beat Forest Hills Eastern, that was undefeated. So they got a little bit of smack going into this game.
There's no question.
They can score some points. I just think Mona Shores is really good.
Yeah, 7-2 Muskegon at 9-0 Traverse City Central. I'm going with Muskegon. I want to see that rematch between Muskegon and
I think
Mona
I'm
Shores.
Going with them too. Central's undefeated, but they've squeaked by some games, and they don't really come close to playing the competition Muskegon does.
Yeah, absolutely. Battle Creek Lakeview 6-3 at Lowell 8-1. I'm going Lowell. They've rolled ever since the loss to Wall Lake Western. And we've got Byron Center 7-2 at Portage Central 8-1. I'm going Portage Central.
Yeah, that Portage Central plays better competition. Go with Central.
So we're going to have some good second round matchups if we've got Mona Shores, Muskegon, Lowell, and Portage Central. Those are going to be really good. Holly 5-4. They just get in, but good for them that they get in. But they've got to take on a tough 8-1 Fenton squad. I see Fenton winning that one, especially being at home.
Yeah, even though I picked Ortonville Brandon to upset the other higher echelon team in the Flint Metro, I'm going with Fenton in this one. We've
got the Battle of Midland, 7-2 Midland at 8-1 Midland Dow. I think this one can definitely go either way, but I have Dow.
There was 49-28 last week, I believe the score was. It was some ridiculous score. I'm going to go with the cuckoo one and take Midland to beat Midland Dow the second time around.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. And hey, let's talk about Region 2, Walled Lake Northern, 6-3 at Walled Lake Western, 9-0. I believe this will be a high-scoring affair like they usually are between these two. Yeah, exactly. But I think Western is destined to get to the semifinals, so I'm taking Western.
Yeah, they were up by 21 on Northern earlier in the season. Northern came all the way back, and then Western had to kick a field goal at the end of the game. I don't think Western lets that happen. I think Western wins by 10.
7-2 Farmington Hills Harrison at 9-0 Birmingham Groves. And I'll tell you what, and people say that Groves haven't played anyway, but you know what? They have played some teams.
They played Pioneer.
Exactly, and they beat Pioneer. And I'm going to take Birmingham Groves at home.
Well,
I think they're
how about that?
Yes.
I'm going with Harrison.
Yeah.
I love their defense.
I
think their defense is going to shut down Groves.
Okay, we'll see. Livonia Churchill 5-4 at Jackson 7-2. I'm taking Jackson, although I have not seen them this year.
We've had some film clips of them.
We've had, I've seen just, a little bit.
Right.
Livonia Churchill just gets in, but they've had a hard-fought season. But I think Jackson's going to win this game. Put up a lot of points.
I like Jackson in this one. If Churchill was a little bit better, I might take them. But they've been like this.
Yeah.
And even when they've won, they've kind of, not looked that impressive.
And speaking of this, 5-4 Farmington at 6-3 Livonia Franklin. I'm going to go with Franklin.
I'm picking Farmington in an upset in this one because I think they can play good enough defense to keep Franklin under wraps. Franklin does have a lot of offensive weapons, though.
And that's where I think it's going to be the difference.
Yeah, if they get loose.
For some reason, Farmington genuinely has had trouble in second halves with giving up a lot of points. So that's the reason why I think Franklin, in the end, will win. But we'll see. Southfield Lathrop 6-3 at Berkeley 7-2. This one's going to be at Anderson Middle School, and I'm taking Berkeley.
Taking the Bears.
Yep. Oak Park 5-4 at Southfield 6-3. I'm taking Oak Park. They put up 50 points against Southfield a couple of weeks ago.
Chauncey Lohman, we were talking off camera about who can be the difference maker in this game, the quarterback Oak Park. He was hurt during much of the season, and Oak Park kind of did one of those things. They're back up. I'm going to go with Oak Park.
I agree. UD Jesuit 6-3, back into the playoffs. Obviously a big season for them.
And look who they get.
Yeah, and they get King right out of the gate. There's no question that King coming off an incredible win, really, over Cass Tech. Second time that They beat them this season. First time in a long time since they've done that. Got to go King.
Yeah, I got to go King.
Lincoln Park 6-3 at Wyandotte Roosevelt 7-2. I'm going to go Lincoln Park.
Good.
I'm just going to say that big 6'5" quarterback's just going to drag defenders into the end zone and somehow they're going to pull it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
250-pounder.
Why not?
I'm going to go with Wyandotte at home just because, yeah, and they lost at home to Lincoln Park, so I'm not sure that matters much. I just think Lincoln Park, they've done their thing, and they played well all year. They've 3 times they've come back to win games in the second half. But Wyandotte, you wonder what their thought was when they played Lincoln Park the first time.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're playing Lincoln
Yeah,
Park.
exactly.
Well, now they know it's a different Lincoln
Sure.
Park. So I think they're going to prepare differently. I'm going with
And whoever the
Wyandotte.
winner is, they've got King in the next round anyway. So
You should get to play another week.
there you go. 7-2 East English at Warren De La Salle 6-3, and boy, De La Salle is really been challenging. How good they were. I mean, it's been insane that Orchard Lake St. Mary's could beat them the way they did at the Prep Bowl, considering how they beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's the first time.
Yeah, it was
and
like-
again, losing to CC
It's like
as well.
flip-flopping a pancake.
Yeah, it was wild. And I think East English has a lot of upside and are very strong. But I am going to go Warren De La Salle, and I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going East English.
Okay, there you go.
I like they haven't played anybody the last 2 weeks.
I
That
know.
could be good and bad, but they've gotten healthy. And they lost. I was at the game last year, district final. They lost to De La Salle 17-10 at Wayne State. They're playing at Wayne State again this year. I'm going with East English.
I think it's going to be the same result. I think 17-10.
I could see
De La
that.
Salle.
I could see it.
I don't think there's any way they're going to lose again. Grosse Pointe South 6-3 at Sterling Heights 7-2, and I'm going to go with Grosse Pointe South.
You know, I am too. This is probably going to be one of the more competitive games in
South
Division
has played
II.
a good schedule.
Yes, they have. They beat Ike 8-2. They played.
Yeah,
They
8-2.
played Dakota. They played a better schedule than Sterling Heights. I think that comes into play here.
So who I have making the semifinals in Division II, getting through this, I'm going to have Mona Shores taking on Walled Lake Western
Oh, in the semi.
in the semi.
Okay, I'm going with Mona Shores against Walled Lake Western.
Yeah,
I like
and
that,
then I've
yeah.
got King versus Oak Park
Wow.
in the semis. I've got Oak Park getting through this
Right.
this group right here. So
Okay, I'm going to go King and Jackson.
King and Jackson. Okay, that's a good pick right there. So we'll give you our winner of Division II after we talk about Division IV, and let's get there. And these are definitely some teams that take a little bit of looking at, and a lot of teams with 6-3 records, 5-4 records. It's loaded in 4. So here we go. 6-3 Whitehall versus 7-2 Remus Chippewa Hills. I'm going Chippewa Hills.
Chip Hills.
Yes. 6-3 Big Rapids versus 5-4 Escanaba. I'm going to take Escanaba at home.
I'm going with the 5-4 Eskimos.
There you go. All right. 6-3 Alma at 8-1 Forest Hills Eastern. All Forest Hills
All
Eastern.
Forest
on
Hills
this.
Eastern.
Absolutely.
They're going to be rejuvenated after losing last week to Northern.
Yep. 6-3 Saginaw Swan Valley at 7-2 Comstock Park. I'm taking Comstock Park in this one and in a couple more too.
Yeah, I like Comstock
like
Park in this one. A lot of people on this side of the state. 2011, 2012, 2013, they got to the semis.
Yep.
I'm going with Comstock
Yeah,
Park.
and then there you go. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Plainwell 5-4 at 9-0 Zeeland West. All Zeeland West.
All Zeeland
no
West.
question. Dowagiac 6-3 at Benton Harbor 5-4. I'm going to go with Benton Harbor.
I like Benton Harbor in this game. They play
First time in the playoff. They've had 4 wins in 7 years.
well, you know, they play a really good schedule.
now
They
they
play
win.
Portage Central, they play Portage
Yeah.
Northern, they play St. Joe's, they play Stevensville. They play a lot of good teams. They earned that 5-4 record.
I know, and a home game.
Yes, they get a home game. That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
it really is. We've got a story on their coach this week's and State Champ Show. You got to check it out. 6-3 Wyoming Godwin Heights at 8-1 Grand Rapids Catholic Central. I'm all GRCC.
That's not even going to be close.
Yes.
CC.
6-3 Hudsonville Unity Christian at 7-2 Lake Odessa Lakewood. I think this will be close, but I'm taking Lakewood. Now they've lost a couple in a row, but I think they're due because they ran the table and they've lost the last 2, but I think they're due.
I like Unity Christian in this
Okay.
one, a close one.
Lake Fenton 5-4 at Corunna, 8-1 Corunna.
Yes.
7-2 Flint Powers Catholic at 7-2 Goodrich. Little Flint battle here. I'm going to go with Goodrich. I say there's no shame in their 11-10 loss to Ortonville Brandon. And I think the only other setback they had was to Beecher, talking Goodrich, and I think they're going to win.
I'll go with Powers. That's a good
That's
rivalry.
it is. That's a good game.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
In basketball, that's a good game too.
Yeah, that's right.
No, they're good rivals.
Yeah, they are. 6-3 Croswell Lexington at 8-1 Richmond. I'm all about Richmond, the Blue Devils.
I think Richmond's going to go far.
Yep.
I got them in this one.
7-2 Marysville at 7-2 Pontiac Notre Dame Prep. I'm taking Marysville.
Wow.
They beat Fitzgerald, beat Sterling Heights. They win this. They get another shot at Richmond last week. Next week they lost to Richmond earlier. And when you think about Prep, who is their real signature win? I mean, River Rouge.
Yeah,
they lost to Loyola twice.
Right, that is their signature win is Rouge.
And it was 33-30.
Boy, you're convincing me on this. So I'm going with Marysville. Go with the Vikings.
I think so.
I think that's a good
think they
pick.
played a tougher schedule. A lot of playoff teams that they played, ended up in the playoffs. 5-4 or not. 5-4 Detroit Denby at 9-0 Detroit Collegiate Prep. I'm taking Denby.
I'm taking Denby,
They haven't
too.
played this season. Tougher schedule. Denby's played King and Cass.
They're in that same division with East English.
East English.
And they survived that.
Yeah.
When I mean survived, they got beat up in those games.
Yeah.
And then they beat Henry Ford to get into playoffs at 5-4. Yeah, I think their level of scheduling is much higher than Collegiate Prep.
Well, good for Detroit Cesar Chavez Academy. They get in at 7-2, and they're taking on Milan 7-2, but I'm going Milan.
They put up some gaudy numbers this year, that offense at Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
But they don't play teams like Milan. Milan's good. What I talked about earlier, the Huron League, if they have to play the downriver, that's not good. The Huron League can play a game like this. I'm not going with the Big Reds.
For sure. And we've got 6-3 Harper Woods Chandler Park Academy at 8-1 Detroit Country Day. Definitely Country Day.
I think that's a 28-point game.
Yeah. Cranbrook Kingswood 8-1 at St. Clair Shores South Lake 8-1. I am taking Cranbrook just because I want to see Cranbrook play Country Day. And I talked about that before. And so that's why I'm picking that game, although South Lake is strong.
Yeah, South Lake was, they were undefeated, then they end up losing to Madison, and it's just a shootout.
Yeah.
Something like a 56-42
and Madison is very
game.
Good.
So I'm going to go with South Lake in this game.
And they're at home, so that's good. So my Division 4 semis, I guarantee you it's not your semis. I've got Comstock Park taking on Grand Rapids Catholic Central. That means somebody's going to beat Zeeland West.
Who is that? Who's going to beat Zeeland West?
I have Comstock Park.
I got to see that game.
Beating Zeeland West.
Oh, okay. I got Comstock. I got Zeeland West playing. I'll go with Forest Hills Eastern.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
and then I've got Country Day taking on Marysville.
I do definitely have Country Day. I have them in the finals. Who would I have them coming out of that top bracket? I'm going with Richmond.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, I think the Country Day Richmond semifinal is going to be really good.
Okay, so quickly, who do you have winning Division? What are we doing? Division 2, yes.
I've got King.
I've got King. Who do you got for Division 4?
Zeeland West.
I've got Grand Rapids Catholic Central winning Division 4.
Wow.
All right, we will give you the rest of our picks in just a couple of days, Division 5 through 8.